Hey everybody, Josh RV Nerd of Bish's RV down here in a big echoey building with some tools in the background, taking a look at a brand new full body paint package they have coming out now on the Paradigms. Now, today we're going to be taking a walk on the wild side, going all the way through this. This is their front bath and a half ensuite kind of thing with a really nice kind of kitchen setup. A couple key things I like about this, like their dining table, I'm going to call it a dinesque because it can turn 90 degrees and pivot basically and do the time warp again, so that if you want it to be a table and chairs, you got it. You want it to be like a desk arrangement, or if you just want to eat your breakfast overlooking an amazing picture window view, you have the perfect place for it. The kitchen in this thing is glorious, but this is a big rig. This is the kind of thing I think most people are probably going to get it there and leave it there. I don't know that I would personally want to tow it every weekend, but that's just me. I just prefer to tow smaller. Maybe you do want to be on the road more with this. And on that note, they have their benchmark chassis, which is wide body and has their a crazy front end structure support on this to make sure that everything stays square the way it's supposed to. Their Goodyear tire package, the 6-point hydraulic auto leveling. They've got a really nice suspension, shock dampening pin box, all that stuff right there from the factory. But what's kind of crazy on this, it's almost easy to miss. It's a quad slide. Most builders of a floor plan like this only do 2 slides in the living room, 1 slide in the bedroom. I say only, that's still quite a bit. They actually have a second slide in the bedroom that goes all the way into the bathroom. So it's a bedroom bathroom super slide that offers just awesome space up there. And I love the fact that they didn't try to throw a second sink in the bathroom. I don't know many people that really functionally can use 2 sinks in a bathroom, but they didn't worry about that here. Now, there's so much I haven't hit on. There's so much that I need to go through on this, and I won't still be able to cover everything. But if you like how we get you down here and try to get you looks at all these new things and go through them in crazy detail, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think about it. What are your high points and what are its low points for you as we go? Now, every RV and every floor plan always has its advantages and its drawbacks, and those are the things that I want to focus on today. And I want to be very fair and candid with you, because if this isn't the right RV for you, we have plenty of other options. I want you to get your second camper the first time. That's why it takes so much time to go through all these videos. But this layout, this style, rear kitchens have always resonated with me. Since day one when I got into the business, I have always found myself gravitating toward rear kitchens because I worry more about being there than getting there, but I don't tow and travel very far when I go camping. I tend to be more of a pavement park princess, which I think would probably be the best application for a floor plan like this. But mobility factors like traveling access and road mode, those really don't matter much to me, but I know they matter to other people. And that's, you folks drive this channel. That's why I always place so much emphasis on that feature there. There's something about this layout though. Like, you've got massive windows. You have a super tall ceiling. This is a big full profile fifth wheel. They gave us all the maximized space they could. They even made that window even bigger, which might set off somebody's like symmetry alarms, but they gave you maximum window coverage. It's full of glass and full of class, basically, ladies and gentlemen. And it has that open feeling. At the same time though, the way that this floor plan lays out, it still feels like it has that clarity and definition. Like, up here where I'm standing, this is clearly the living room. Back there is clearly the kitchen. They don't really seem to fight one another and overlap too awful hard, you know. Now, speaking of this kitchen, let me get you back here, because the kitchen actually begins in what I'm going to call a mega slide. Like, you've got a sofa, a dinesque, and a pantry all built into one big slide. And it's like, it's approaching a 7-foot slide height, so you can easily walk through this. I think that's a 20 cubic foot, 12-volt compressor fridge, by the way. And all Paradigms have a factory standard triple air conditioner system. Now, basically what you have is this air conditioner essentially dedicated to the kitchen. When we turn around, you'll see a peek at the roof, or the ceiling, as it were, and you'll see that the living room essentially has its own air conditioner, and then the upper deck shares one centralized air. So the biggest room of the RV with the most volume of space to cool gets 2 airs, and the smallest area of the RV with the shortest ceilings and the less space gets 1 air. And it works, and they work well. That's something I see Alliance owners comment on regularly, is how nicely their RV cools even in hot weather. Even in like Texas kind of places. Now up top there, to get some airflow going in here, because it is a sweaty hot day today, I've got a window behind me open, and I've got that fan out there turned on. And I'm getting like a nice little breeze whipping up my backside right now, and I ain't mad at it, let me tell you. So in our kitchen's huge. We've got solid surface counters all the way around here, but a couple awesome little details like that fan that I pointed out. This is where the controller for it is. So it's right next to you. I love a kitchen window. I love the radius work on the trim that they put up here, just giving it some class. I like how they fully framed out all their windows. But when you run into an L-shaped kitchen counter like this, there's a chunk of the kitchen that you just can't easily get to. Well, they made that a very functional space. It's a drop-in wastebasket area. So you can have a trash can down there, and even that is solid surface, which is nice. If I back up here, taking a look at the stovetop, you see you've got a big, almost home-style 4-burner stove with a larger oven going on down below. But they're also very good about making sure you can really belly right up to the sink or anything like that. And that kitchen has a very nice kind of wraparound backsplash all the way through it. I'm going to make a second pass through all this and get all that storage open in just a second, by the way. First of all, though, let's knock out this living room area right here. What I love about this is so often in RVs, if you're doing any prep work in the kitchen, you are ignored and left out of the entertainment. It's almost like theater seating or like an actual cinema seat where I can see over the other person, except I happen to be standing doing prep work, and they've got this nice, plush, comfy theater seat back there, giving them all the comfy reclining features. Now, just to kind of complete the visual, ooh, that big blank wall above the TV. How would you decorate that? Mr. Garrett, our video editor, put us a funny little image up there. Tell us how you would decorate that space. I'd be very curious what your twisted little mind will come up with here. Hopefully it's something that's family appropriate. It's dangerous when you leave a fill in the blank out there. Sometimes people fill in the blank, if you know what I mean. Massive campsite, big picture windows over here. And if you're noticing, let's actually give you a nice sample of this. You have day-night blackout shades, nighttime blackout shades and day privacy shades all the way through this living area. Now you might notice suddenly how the woodwork looks almost like a different color. That's because the light pollution coming in from outside has changed, and my camera now goes, oh, it must be a new color. I don't know anything about cameras, so there's probably a way to fix that. I'm not aware. This TV, by the way, you might notice it can pivot around. So if you're having a little bit of like somebody hanging out on the left or the right hide-a-bed sleeper sofa, which let's talk about that. You have easy viewing conversation capacity here. Not to mention, you've got easy sleeping in this for 4 to 6 people, depending on how you rack them, pack them, and stack them here. And since this is a big wide body rig and hide-a-beds are short sleepers, you can still walk through here. Now it gets a little tight right there, but yeah, you can still walk through that. You just do a little bit of a sideways step and then you're gonna be good. We're gonna way back here into the kitchen. I didn't intend to go about it this way, but this is how we're moving. So I'm just gonna roll that beautiful bean footage. Down below the sink, nice and wide open, easy wastebasket space, but they also have shutoff valves for all their individual water lines. So like, if something goes wrong with the cold water line, you can turn that off, keep your hot water, and not disable the entire RV. Now I noticed something here. It's a tiny thing. This drawer actually hits that cabinet handle, but it opens enough that I can give it a pass. I'm not super worried about it. That actually might be, I would say that would be a good spot for a wastebasket, but we've already established there's a better spot for a wastebasket. You don't have to put that there. That's also a large oven. So if you're going to be in the RV for an extended time and really cooking up a storm, this is a rig where you can do it. Now, unless you've got Paul Bunyan long legs like mine, you're going to need a 2 or 3 stepper to get to them upper cabinets. And you might have noticed how that storage kind of wrapped around that upper cabinet. Again, sometimes long arms kind of help. Now, as we get down here, they had a big chunk of uninterrupted countertop space, and they put a lot of big time drawer space going on in here. You notice you got big full extension drawers all the way down to the floor there. But also, I really like this refrigerator, how it actually has a double drawer arrangement instead of one big drawer with the annoying slider above, so you can get to exactly what you want, exactly when you want it. Now, using this as a reference for scope and scale, I brought with me my afternoon allotment of drinks and libations here in the compressor fridge. And above that, again, just what would you even put up there? A grandkid? Oh, hello. Motion lighting in the pantry went off over here. Now, obviously, it might flash back on as we get in here because I want to demonstrate the fact that these are adjustable, removable shelves. And they are like truly fully adjustable, removable. You can do whatever you want with them. Okay. Oh, shoot. There it is. Now, ooh, hello. Down below, we've got a set of power outlets down there in that pantry in the slide. So, like if you have like a boot dryer or some kind of stick vac charger. Hello, I just bumped my butt into the spark knob. I do that all the time. By the way, have you noticed how the table has now rotated 90 degrees back into the more traditional dining arrangement? So if you're like, I don't need a desk space, I want to get a bunch of people around here and play cards or something, you obviously, you can do that. Back to the full-on view here. Again, that TV can pivot around either direction depending on what you want. I would like to actually draw your attention right over by the entry door, because you see that you've actually got almost like a floor-to-ceiling general storage space there, also where your control panel is easily hidden away, and your fuse box. So you don't have to worry about, oops, I blew a fuse. Now I can't get to the fuse box because the slide is closed. You don't have to deal with that here. This is a bath and a half model, just like the sinks and everything else. The cold water line that feeds this has its own shutoff valve. So again, if something goes ace deuce with this, no pun intended. Speaking of deuce, take a look at the left side of the screen right now. You get the idea. You can prevent your whole trip from getting pirated and hijacked and whatnot. Now that sink right in there, that countertop is still a solid surface. They don't use any thermal foil in this. But you might notice how they don't have any sort of weird loft or anything above it. It just goes all the way to the ceiling. The trick is you can't easily see what's going on in there. So take a look at the right side of the screen, and you can see that there is a vent fan above you that actually even has its own light. You can actually even turn that on for motion mode. So if you have a guest who's not familiar with their RV, they can navigate in the evening hours. Also on the right side of the screen, taking a look at all of our medicine cabinet and linen storage and all that kind of stuff that we have going on in here. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. They even put a set of power outlets next to the toilet, I guess for your phone charger, so you can stay on top of your business while you're doing your business. Hey-o! Walking our way backwards here. You know, I should have thought about that before I just flipped the door shut in your face. That was rather inconsiderate and rude of me. Apologies. Again, when we get upstairs, we do have a single shared central air system that does duct into that half bath, by the way. But what's helping is this also benefits from the RV airflow efficiency kit. So you're doing pretty good. Now, this is the exact slide system. In case like there's two common types of slide cable slides, and some people feel a certain way about one or the other. Here's the easiest way. If you see cables on the outside of the slide, reach above it. If you can feel cables up here, if you can feel all of that, that would be AccuSlide. That is not what you have here. This is called Exact Slide, which seems to be, as far as service records go, the one that people tend to prefer. It seems to carry a little bit better consumer confidence, in my experience. Now, they gave you windows all the way around that bed, all of which open for airflow, and that is a king-sized bed. So I think you have the option to get a queen. I don't option. Why did I say it like that? Okay, you have the option for a queen. You've also got not really stands, but those little, I don't know, little towers, I guess, power towers, where you have your household and your USB outlets over here. I can't remember. This isn't, yeah, I'd say this is Exact Slide. So this should be an easy lift bed with the struts. And you can see, I didn't display these earlier. These are the chairs, so that if you do want to have the table more in a dining mode instead of a desk mode, and you want some guests over, it does include the dual fold-away guest chairs, so you have plenty of space there. Now, you might hear my backside rubbing against the wall panels. This design around the king bed, it is very tight around the bed, so just being real about it, I'm absolutely butt scoop boogieing around this sucker, but, you know, hey, I did it in real time. We can get there. The thing is, from the bedroom into the bathroom, this is all one slide. And man, they take advantage of that opportunity. I don't know if you noticed this in the kitchen, by the way. Let me give you a broadside shot of these drawers. Now, they all three extend to the depth of the bottom one. I think when I don't know, do you prefer all three drawers pulled out all the way, or does this help you like count the drawers and understand the storage there a little bit better? But All of the drawers in their in Alliance RVs, they're all nicely finished off so you don't get splinters in your fingers, which is nice. And where they have wood cuts, notice how they just kind of color touch that a little bit just to make everything match up. Little stuff like that. I look for stuff like that. Like, is the factory paying attention to little details? Oop, hold on, hold on. Bottom left corner of the screen coming into view, you're going to see a floor ducted heat vent. This is one of the only times in the entire Alliance RV lineup that you'll see a floor ducted heat vent, just because the way that this floor plan worked out, they did not have a wall that they could try to run some heat up into. Now, it looks like I forgot to open a drawer at the bottom there, but that's not actually a drawer. That's like a service access panel to, I don't know, something goes in there. Good space for a wastebasket under the primary ensuite bath sink as well. Again, all solid surface and single sink bathroom. Hallelujah. Thank you, Alliance. I'm not personally a major fan of the double sinks. Now, if you are, that's okay. I'm not saying that you're wrong and I'm right or anything like that. It's just not my personal pick and preference, although I really like where they put the power outlets there in the bathroom. Now, in the kitchen, I think a lot of the outlets are under the overhead cabinets, which I don't necessarily love. This right here, I think, is also kind of interesting because that slide fascia is somewhat in the way. They made this slide open and closed, and it's actually even a soft close, which is cool. Now, up here in your primary bathroom, these are technically both Max Air fans, but this is, when you hear Max Air fan, I think this is what actually comes to mind. Max Air is a brand name. This is a Big Fajita Friday Fume Fighter, which is a nerdism name. So there you have it. Now, it's a one-piece molded fiberglass shower. Let me actually back up a little bit and work my way down here, because one of the cool things is that this actually does have that fold-down seat. Now, they call it 300-pound rated. Here's what I know. I'm probably pushing 220 and some change right now. And when I sit on that, it feels like it doesn't want to handle much more than me. So I'm just going to put that out there. Maybe you want to get some kind of fold-down leg below it. Giving you a little sample of me sitting on that thing, by the way, and then standing up. Awesome upper deck headroom in here. They've done a fantastic job of that. Now, working our way around a little bit, once you get up into Paradigm, they start to use a bunch of that really fancy dancy kind of height adjustable shower hardware, which is really nice. And as we work our way back down here, trying to go slow, not make you motion sick, you can see where the toilet is located. And if you take a look again at the right side of the screen, you can see me sitting on the toilet. Exactly what you always wanted to see. And if you were worried about hip, shoulder, or elbow room before you saw that, you definitely shouldn't be worried after you see it. Instead, you should be a little more worried about the eye pollution of looking at me on the toilet, but that's an entirely different story for an entirely different day. Something I do appreciate. They gave us a spot to put yesterday's clothes now that it's today. Little stuff like that I find very, very useful. Now, remember, this on the right-hand side, this is storage with that sliding door that we saw. This is a wide body rig, and they gave us essentially maximum functional hanging space. And every little nook and cranny they could in that nose cap, they added shelves at the lip. So if you just want to rack, pack, and stack and stuff clothes in there, you could. Over here on the left, if you so choose, is where your washer dryer stuff could be located. So by default, if you look at this, it's kind of prepped for a combo, but you could remove those shelves and you can put a stackable unit in here. So how you choose to go about that is sort of up to you. Now, I'm going to Michael Jackson hee moonwalk backwards, hopefully not fall down the steps, which are now right behind me, and come back here so that we can close this sucker up for road mode. Because one of the cool things here, with that bed running on the exact slide system, it is maybe potentially possible you might be able to lay in that and occupy it in transit, which most bed slides don't allow for. I don't actually know Alliance's stance and position on that. If that's necessary and important for you, I recommend you do some double checking and verifying on that. There's nobody here that I can call and check on to verify that myself personally right now. Now for transit, the half bath is going to be readily available, but when you get big opposing slides in a giant kitchen like this, it gets kind of hard to navigate stuff. Now, technically, if you kind of turn the dinette a little bit, you could sort of get back. Hold on. Hang on just a hot minute here. Did the inclusion of the dinette fix this RV's travel access? OMG, Becky. I think it might have. Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Normally, with a giant rear kitchen, there's no way for you to ever get back here and check stuff. I am so glad I went through this to double check and verify. This has awesome travel access for a big giant rig. Now, hey, quick note. You see how this slide looks super kittywampus and crooked? That's because it's a floor flush slide. They're not perfectly square. They actually kind of have a little bit of a ramp up down. So that is how it's supposed to look right there. And that's why it has a sloped roof on the outside when it's open for water runoff purposes. And if road mode and the random stupid jokes and comments and the things about the slides are useful for you, hit that subscribe button. Let me know we're doing a good job. In the meantime, we're going to hop outdoors. And we're going to get more into this. I would say we're going to peel into this paint package, but that's not correct. As you're seeing along the bottom of the screen, a second look at the weights and measures here. She big. This is a big quad slide rig. Despite being wide body and quad slide, it still doesn't weigh quite as much as I would have expected, which is also surprising because they use a thicker chassis on this. But I think you start looking at this big wide body sucker. This is a chunky boy. Like, this is a big sucker right here. So let's dive into that. This is the Paradigm was Alliance's first offering out there in the marketplace. And one of the things that they did is they always went wide body with these to really kind of maximize all of your space. Paint package looking real darn good here. I like those kind of glowy white light panels also, as compared to like the Morse code ... sort of lighting. Shock dampening pin box and suspension package standard. We're going to get you a better look at some of that in a little bit here. Notice though that you've got like a two-layer kind of front storage compartment. The bottom left compartment is prepped. Well, it's not prepped. It is by default, the bottom of that is perforated so that if you want to have a generator installed there, you can. Now, from the factory, you have optional gen prep, and you can actually get the actual generator installed. Actually, the actual, yep, I said that. Okay, whatever, moving on. Again, taking a look here, kind of teaching you how to fish a little bit. From the outside of the RV, you can see that that's a cable slide. Rarely from the outside can you determine if it's AccuSlide or Exact Slide, but you have to kind of look inside the RV to pick that up, or look at the owner's manuals, figure out which one you got. But your lower deck slides on here are going to be hydraulic rack and pinion, actually. Now, working our way back, this RV, you can kind of probably see it in the distance back there. It does have two sewer outlets. The back one is your kitchen black and gray. No, your kitchen gray. Hopefully you don't have a black tank in the kitchen. The one up front here is going to be our bathrooms and all that stuff. They have maintained a gas and electric water heater, so not a tankless on demand on this one. But back here, man, holy crap, dude. This thing has a massive pass-through because this is one of those big drop frame mega storage kind of things right here. Something that they've adopted is the electronic gate valves, though. They do that on Paradigm now, where you can literally push a button to know to like open and close your gate valves. So once you have your sewer lines hooked up, maybe you get like a little Y splitter. You don't have to like crawl under the thing. And above that, you see a couple black boxes. Those are switches for the slide outs over here. They actually include three-way switches to be able to open and close slides and awnings from ground level outside the camper. Now, what's really smart is they put the switches that correspond to the motors on this side of the RV over here and the other ones over there. So, you know, simple things. Now, down below, you do have a gas grill quick connect, which is very easy to see because they have even the skirting is fully painted on this. And as we back up, I do want to point out that this does have 6-point, oh, we got to get, holy, guys.
Did you say something about wide bodies?
That's my joke. Come on. So, ladies and gentlemen, special guest today. This is Mr. Ryan with Millers in Motion.
And you called me Brian, didn't you?
No. I was just trying to make sure that I got it right. But if you want to learn more about Alliance stuff, you have a Valor, correct?
We do. We full-time in a Valor 44V14.
So if you want to learn more about the RV life and Alliances in general, make sure you check out Millers in Motion. So, hey.
Especially if you're really good at breaking stuff and making somebody else fix it, I'm your guy.
Oh, me too, brother. Me too. I am so fortunate that people are like, so what do you do when you need to fix this, that, or the other thing? So I take it back to my repair shop because I suck with tools. If I can plug a mouse and a keyboard into it, I'm your man.
There you go.
Hey, take care, brother.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, moving on. What was I saying? 6-point hydraulic auto leveling on these. And as we work our way back here, one of the things you might have noticed when Ryan popped out that door, it didn't go flinging in the breeze, despite his surprisingly nimbly bimbly agile hop out of that thing. I was actually quite impressed there. You know, he's a regular Simone Biles. But you get the idea. The door didn't fling open necessarily. Now, let me get you down here. Take a look at these. Ooh, the knees are popping today. So you've got your MORryde shock dampening kind of situation going on here. Now, I need to, I think, correct myself. I've been recording Avenues all day. I think when this video began, I referred to these as Goodyears. These are not Goodyears. It looks like the name on that is Sterling. Something, sometimes when you make as many videos as I do, you kind of go on autopilot, and that's just sort of one of those things that happens. So not my intention to mislead, just an accident and a correction there. Now, look at that paint. I mean, that is a literal mirror-like reflection. They have stuck with the framed out windows, though, which does help maximize airflow. Frameless windows, I think, look super smexy. And I will say, on this model, because the paint package doesn't persist on the slide sides, the back side of that slide out looks really jarring because it doesn't have a window or anything to break it up, so it almost looks like it was forgotten. And what do you think about the awning arms? Like, normally Paradigms have white awning arms, and that looks fine, so they maintained that. Something about that set kind of sticks out to me. But, I mean, I'm looking for trouble with a map and glasses. There's nothing really wrong there. Let's get down like a dancer. We've got the full-length Stinky Slinky sewer hose down here. You can see that we are a belly-mounted spare. And we are a fully enclosed underbelly. It's enclosed, forced air heated, radiant barriered, and holding tank heat pads. Another cool thing, Alliance really kind of led the charge on this. They were one of the first manufacturers that overtly stated, if you want to fill your holding tanks, your water tanks, and tow it down the road, we're okay with that. And most manufacturers still don't allow for that at all. And Alliance was, they're like, yeah, fill them up. That's why we built it. They just have more, you know, belly structure to do that. On the back, we've got our 3,000-pound towing hitch right there with the 4-way wiring harness. We've also got a ladder built right on to get you up to the roof. And if I'm not mistaken, these are 300-pound rated, which is another interesting thing. It kind of keys you into a little bit of their constructionology, if you will. The RV industry says that RV manufacturer, if they build a ladder onto the RV, it has to be rated for at least 250 pounds. And that's why almost every ladder is rated for exactly 250 pounds. So Alliance is sticking their necks out and going a little bit further for you here. Now, this is one of my favorite little things. I love it whenever a manufacturer does this. Right now, this looks like an empty pocket. So what are we looking at here? Well, I mean it in the best way. When I say this is trash, guys. This is that corner in the kitchen where you wouldn't be able to access it from the inside. So they created a drop-in garbage space. But what I love is that you get rid of your garbage on the off-door side, and you're not accidentally hauling that, dropping anything through your campsite. Just little things like, oh, I'm seeing the reflection of the corrugated metal over here, and I was like, they have some massive paint problems going on. They don't. They just painted it so well that I could see what was happening behind me. I was all twisted up for a minute there. So let me know what you think. And actually, I'm going to leave you some links in the description like I usually do. Of course, if you want to double check pricing and availability on one of these, it may be very different. Like, it may not have the paint package. The ones that we have in stock, you'll see the pictures. You'll get to see how they're equipped right on our website. But you'll also get to see, you know, pricing and that kind of stuff right there. But I'm also going to leave a link to like a Pinnacle 38 FBRK, which is kind of their version of this floor plan. And head-to-head, side-to-side, I'd love it if you watch these things back-to-back and let me know on either video which one you'd go with and why, because they're more similar than different. They're both pretty swanky, but they both have a very different feel and vibe about them. I'd love to know what you think there. So until next time, thanks again for tuning in. Take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.